नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, text number 37. We are reading from the teachings of Queen Kunti, prayers by Kunti Maharani. Apyadyanastvam sakrite hita prabho jihasasi switsurdo nujivena yesham na chanyan bhavata padambujan parayanam rajasuyojitam hasam. Apyadyanastvam sakrite hita prabho jihasasi swit suhurdo nujivena yesham na chanyan bhavata padambujat parayanam rajasuyojitam hasam. Apyadyanastvam sukrite hita prabho jihasasi switsurdo nujivena yesham na chanyan bhavata padambujan parayanam rajasuyojitam hasam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. Are you leaving us today? Though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us, now when all kings are at enmity with us. Please repeat the translation. O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. Are you leaving us today? Though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us. Now when all kings are at enmity with us. Purport. The Pandavas are most fortunate because with all good luck they were entirely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. In the material world, to be dependent on the mercy of someone else is the utmost sign of misfortune. But in the case of a transcendental relation with the Lord, it is the most fortunate case when we can live completely dependent on Him. The material disease is due to thinking of becoming independent of everything. But the cruel material nature does not allow us to become independent. The false attempt to become independent of the stringent laws of nature is known as material advancement of experimental knowledge. The whole material world is moving on this false attempt of becoming independent of the laws of nature. Beginning from Ravana, who wanted to prepare a direct staircase to the planets of heaven, down to the present age, they are trying to overcome the laws of nature. They are trying now to approach distant planetary systems by electronic mechanical power. But the highest goal of human civilization is to work hard under the guidance of the Lord and become completely dependent on Him. The highest achievement of perfect civilization is to work with valor, but at the same time dependent completely on the Lord. The Pandavas were the ideal executors of this standard of civilization. Undoubtedly, they are completely dependent on the goodwill of Lord Sri Krishna. But they were not idle parasites of the Lord. They were all highly qualified both by personal character and by physical activities. Still, they always looked for the mercy of the Lord because they knew that every living being is dependent by constitutional position. The perfection of life is therefore to become dependent on the will of the Lord, instead of becoming falsely independent in the material world. Those who try to become falsely independent of the Lord are called anath, or without any guardian, whereas those who are completely dependent on the will of the Lord are called sanath, or those having someone to protect them. Therefore, we must try to be sanath so that we can always be protected from the unfavorable condition of material existence. Mother diluting power of the actional material nature, forget that the material condition of life is the most undesirable perplexity. The Bhagavad Gita therefore directs us 7.19 that after many births, one fortunate person becomes aware of the fact that Vasudeva is all in all, and that the best way of leading one's life is to surrender unto him completely. That is the sign of a Mahatma. All the members of the Pandava family were Mahatmas in household life. Mahatma Yudhishthir was the head of these Mahatmas, and Queen Kunti Devi was the mother. The lessons of the Bhagavad Gita and all the Puranas, specifically the Bhagavad Purana, are therefore inevitably connected with the history of the Pandava Mahatmas. For them, separation from the Lord was just like the separation of a fish from water. Srimati Kunti Devi therefore felt such separation like a thunderbolt, and the whole prayer of the queen is to try to persuade the Lord to stay with them. After the battle of Kurukshetra, although the inimical kings were killed, their sons and grandsons were still there to deal with the Pandavas. It is not only the Pandavas who were put into the condition of enmity, but all of us are always in such a condition, and the best way to living is to become completely dependent on the will of the Lord and thereby overcome all difficulties of material existence. This is the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupādāya Krishna Preshthāya Bhūtale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nidinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Bhashya Dadeshadarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada. So, this section, the new section is starting here. We've been seeing that Kunti Maharani is praying, and here in this particular verse, the mood of complete dependence on the Lord, seeking the protection of the Lord, the Danya Bhav, that without you we are not protected. So she's saying, when Krishna was leaving and then Kunti Maharani is offering prayers, so in that mood of Danya, like complete dependence on the Lord, she's saying, Apyadyanastvam Sakrate Hita Prabho. That, oh my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. So Krishna came there, protected them, held them, and then Pandavas, they became the king now. They're enthroned. So all his duties are done. So now Krishna had the reason to go back. That okay, to go back to Dwaraka and to take care of my duties there also. So there is another meaning of understanding this is, she's saying, Swakrate ihita prabho. Swakrata. Ihita. Ihita means all duties. So Krishna might give the reason that, I have my duties there in Dwaraka, I have to go back. But she is saying, all your ihita, all your duties are sakrata, self-executed. So you might be giving the reason that, oh no, I have to go and take care of my duties. But my Lord, for you, everything is self-executed. As Prabhupada says, how Krishna creates? Krishna just desires, let there be creation. And by his will, the entire creation comes into existence. Krishna need not to really work hard to get something done. So that is what she is referring. Sakrate ihita prabho. That all your duties are self-executed. So Krishna is like that. By his will, everything happens. So then everything can be done by your will. You not to personally go there in Dwarika. Jihasasi swit surdo anujivina. Jihasasi means then you are leaving us today, giving up. You are saying that you have to go back. But if you don't go also, still all your work will be done automatically by your will. What is the point of you going there? Jihasasi, why you are giving up? Why you are leaving us? Suhurdo anujivina. Your intimate friends, all your devotees, you are our intimate friend. And anujivinaha, we are living at your mercy only. So if you leave us like this, then how we live? We are living on your mercy. And not only me alone, don't think that I am just saying this. Kunti Maharani is saying, Yesham means all of those people. So this prayer is not only just for myself, but on behalf of all those who are surdo anujivina, those who are living at your mercy. Yesham, who are this? My sons, all the Pandavas, the Kunti, Maharani herself, Draupadi, and then everyone. They are all Yesham. These people, they're completely living in your mercy. No jivinaha. Na cha anyat bhavata padambujam. Na cha anyat. There's no anyat. There's no other shelter for them. Then bhavata padambujam. Bhavata referring to Krishna. Yours padambujam, your lotus feet. So yesham na cha anyat bhavata padambujat. For all of us, we are so dependent, we are living in your mercy. And for us, there's no other shelter other than Bhavata Padam Mujat, other than your lotus feet. And Jihasasi, you are leaving us today, saying that you have the work there, or you have to go back. Wherein, Swakrita Hita Prabhu, all your work can be self-executed. It will happen by your own will. So for you, there's no reason to go back. Parayanam Rajasu Yojitam Hasam. So we are Parayanam. Parayanam means we are completely dependent on you. We are living in your mercy. For us, there is no other shelter than Bhavata Padam Mujat, other than your lotus feet. Parayanam, we are completely dependent on you. Rajasu Yojita Mazam. And you might be thinking now everything is all set, battle is over, you became the king. You are like Yudhishthira Maharaj sitting on the throne, Bhima Arjuna, very powerful sons, Kunti Maharani. So what is the point? Why you want me? Your son is king, you have all the powerful sons. So no need. You can happily live. But she is saying, no, don't think that we are safe. Still, all those kings are at enmity with us. Battle is over. We have killed so many opposite elements, all the enemies. But now the descendants, they have become our enemy. So we are not actually safe. Krishna can give the reason that now you are all safe, all set. Kunti is saying, no, Krishna, don't think that we are safe. We are not safe. Without your protection, without your shelter, we cannot be safe in this material world. So that is what is the prayer that Kunti Maharani is offering here. So this verse illustrates the position of a surrendered soul seeking the protection of Krishna. How Kunti Maharani, despite having 5 powerful sons sitting on the throne, the king, still she is not dependent on them. That now my king, my son is the king, powerful king. So now everything is fine. Now she is seeking the protection of Krishna. That expressing that mood that without your shelter, without your protection, we are not protected in this material world. Prabhupada is writing here in the purport, the Pandavas are the most fortunate because with all good luck they are entirely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. So what is the greatest fortune in this material world? Prabhupada is saying that being completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord is the greatest fortune for anyone, which is just opposite to what we see in this material world. In this material world, being dependent on someone as seen the sign of misfortune. Oh, this person is dependent on them. Poor guy, can't do anything. So much dependency. Right? So being dependent as seen as something unfortunate in this world. But in the for a devotee, being completely dependent on the Lord's mercy is the sign of greatest fortune. And we see the many examples, like Pandavas are the examples here, and then Parikshit Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, King Indradumna, everyone, they're all with all good luck. They're not some poor people that they have no other option what to do. They had to be dependent only, hand to mouth situation. They're all materially speaking well-to-do people. All this, Pandavas and great kings, devotees. In fact, you see the Goswamis, they're not ordinary people. They're materially very affluent. Like we see the Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. They were not ordinary people, materially speaking. They're the chief minister and the finance minister. Like that. We see the Raghunath Das Goswami, the son of the big Jamindar, Govardhan Majumdar. Big rich person. His son, all opulent. So, these people, but still they are dependent on the mercy of the Lord. That is what is the good fortune. So people think that we have everything now. We have all the opulences, money, power, position. We are dependent on all of those things. But that is a false shelter. Prabhupada writes here, the material disease is due to thinking of becoming independent of everything. This is the disease. We think, oh, I am independent. I am not to be dependent on anyone. I can do whatever I want to do. I am not to listen to anyone. Materially speaking, material life is like that. Everybody is trying to boss. Boss means I should order everyone. Everybody should listen to me. So that is material life. And then we come in the spiritual life, then we have been trained. Because the tendency, that conditioning of being independent doesn't go just because we are in the temple, just because we are wearing certain dress, dhoti, kurta, kanti, mala, tilak, something like that. The deep conditioning doesn't go. That being independent. That is the root cause of our bondage in this material world, that we want to be independent in this world. So this is what is Krishna consciousness training is, that how to learn to be dependent. Say, oh yes, we are learning to dependent on Krishna. No, that we learn later. First we have to learn to be dependent on the Guru, the spiritual master, and the Vaishnavas. We should be convinced, and we should reinforce that without the mercy of the devotees, without the mercy of the Vaishnavas, there's no existence in a spiritual life. I might think, oh no, I don't need all these devotees and all that. I can chant, I can read, I can do seva, I can preach also, whatever, I can do everything. I don't want all these devotees. I don't like them. Unnecessary, there's a lot of conflict, clashes, and all of that. They're not nice. Sometimes, if we are not in the right state of consciousness, this kind of crazy ideas comes into our mind. That I want to be independent. I can do whatever I want to do. But Prabhupada is saying, this cruel material nature does not allow us to become independent. We might falsely assume that, no, I am independent. I don't care. I don't care about anyone. I just want to be by my own. We can think, but this cruel material nature doesn't allow us. If we are not dependent on Krishna, on Guru, on Vaishnavas, then we have to become dependent on some false masters of this world. Right? This is how this world is. So if we don't become dependent on the right personalities, then we have to become dependent on the false personalities, some false master. People go to the office and then they have to become dependent on that company, the manager. He become the master, he become the boss. And you're dependent on his mercy. You have to perform well, he should be happy with you, then only you'll get the promotion, something like that. And you're constantly worried, what if my boss is not happy? So you constantly keep trying how to make him happy. Right? So we have to be dependent in this material world. So this is the nature. This material world doesn't allow us, how much ever we try to be independent, independently enjoy, but then we still remain the servant, the slaves of our own senses. As one of the Acharya, he quotes this verse, Kamadinam katina katidha palita durnidesha. Kamadinam, that I've been trying to satisfy all this kama. Kama means the desires, like lust, anger, greed, and all of those things. I'm trying to satisfy all of those things. Kamadinam. Kamadi means many, many desires, not just one or two desires. Unlimited desires. I've been trying to katina katidha. How many desires and how many different ways? I tried to palita durnidesha. And palita means I'm maintaining and I'm satisfying. Trying to fulfill all those desires. Satisfying. Durnidesha. But this is, it says, durnidesha means undesirable orders. But what is happening? Tesham jatmayi na karuna na trapa na upashanti. No matter how many desires in how many different ways, I try to satisfy it. But the result is, Tesham, these people, all these desires, they are not shown any mercy. Na karuna. They are not leaving me. Now, okay, you have sufficiently served us. Now you are free. You cannot be free. You cannot be independent. You are just dependent and just on your desires and so many false masters. So they are not showing any mercy. Na karuna, na trapa. There is no santushti also. There is no satisfaction, despite all my attempts to satisfy. No upashanti, and there is no shanti. So this is the nature of serving the false master, serving the senses. Rather, we learn in Krishna consciousness to serve the senses of the master of senses. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam Bhakti Ruchade. That is the practice in Krishna consciousness. And instead of serving our own senses, these all false, masters, we learn to serve the senses of the master of senses, Rishikesha. Otherwise, this cruel nature, it doesn't allow us to become independent. So Prabhupada is bringing this point that these Pandavas are so fortunate because they are completely dependent on the Lord. So we should learn to be dependent on the Lord. And the example Prabhupada is quoting, this Ravana was trying to build the staircase. You want to be independent. I can go to, the heavenly planets. And in this modern age, the modern Ravanas, they're also trying to go to other planets, creating so much time, energy, resources has been spent, in attempting to go to other planets. But what is the gain? If they can go also, can they stay there? If they stay also, then still what is the gain? So it's a waste of time, energy and resources. Right? So one should not waste their time like that. The cruel nature doesn't allow us. And then Prabhupada says, we can never become independent. It is not possible. We can be just, in illusion can think that we are independent. So, Prabhupada gives this example that either we follow the government rules and regulations, the laws, like a good citizen. If somebody is saying, no, I am independent, I need not to follow any rules and regulations, then government will make you to follow by putting you into jail. So either like a good citizen you follow the laws of government, or if you think, no, I am independent, I don't care about this government, then still you have to follow, but forcefully you have to follow the laws of the jail. So similarly, either we follow Krishna and become Krishna, completely dependent on Krishna. Whatever Krishna says, we'll just follow. If we don't follow, then we have to follow Maya's dictates. So choice is ours. We want to follow Krishna's dictates or Maya's dictates. So Kunti Maharaj is saying here that, my dear Krishna, if you think that we are all established now, that we have our kingdom back, and if you therefore want to leave us, that is not a very good proposal. So people might think, we don't need Krishna. Everything is all set. As Bhagavatam says, Deha Patra Kalatradishu Atmasanya Shivasaswapi Tesham Pramatta Nidanam Pashyan Apina Pashyati. This is the illusion of a living entity in this world. But they think, Deha, oh my body, I am very strong man, I am very intelligent person. Patya Kalatra Adishu. Then Kalatra Adishu, like all my wife, the beautiful wife and very obedient wife and nice children, and then that is all Atmasanya. So this is my Sena. So I have my own Sena, so I don't want anybody else. Why I should be dependent on Krishna? I have my own Sena. This is asat sena, asasuapi. So we are thinking I don't need to be dependent on Krishna because I have enough resources, enough people, my well wishers, my family. No one can protect us. Tesham pramatta nidanam. Somebody who is pramatta, who is mad, he cannot see the reality. He thinks these people, my asatsena, will protect me. Pashyanabhina pashyati. Prabhupada writes here, although he is sufficiently experienced in the matter by dint of past experience and previous examples of his deceased predecessors, he does not see that the so-called fighting soldiers like the children, relatives, society members and countrymen are all fallible in the great struggle. Pashyanapina pashyati. Experiencing, we are seeing every day people are dying. In our family also people are died. But we act as if we live forever. And we spend so much time, energy, resources in creating the facility that now I am more protected. Big bungalow, big security system, big something, and like that, and that will protect me. Without realizing that none of those things can protect. And we just keep building up all that, decorating. So as the Shastra says, Ranjanam, Mandanam, Lok Ranjanam. That this modern civilization and this advancement of human civilization in modern ages, the decoration of the dead body. No matter like how much you decorate, there's no meaning. So similarly, you try to create some facilities, some security, some, the resources, and you feel confident, but it is just an illusion. Unless somebody is protected by the Supreme Lord, then he is not in actual sense protected. And that is what Kunti Maharani is bringing the point here, that Krishna, you are leaving us thinking that we are protected here, but we are not protected. Please do not leave us. Stay with us. Like that. So that is the position of a devotee. Prabhupada is writing, we should know that we are actually in danger in this material world. Maya, illusion may catch us at any time. As soon as we are little inattentive, thinking now I've done my duty, let me take a little rest. No, there is no rest. We must be always alert. Maya is always waiting to catch us any moment. As soon as you feel now everything is all good, now I am in the safe zone, that is when the Maya will attack immediately. So devotee should be very, very alert. As Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, the symptom of a devotee who is very advanced, one who is on the stage of bhava. So what are the symptoms? It says, Shantir avyartha kalatvam, varaktir mana shunyata, ashab anda samutkanta namagane sadaruchi, asakti tad gunakhyane, priti tad vasati sthale, iti adyo anubhavashur jata bhavankuro jane. So the devotee who is advanced, who is really advanced devotee, he is like very, very attentive, very, very careful. He never feel confident in his own abilities. Now I am okay. It's okay to be relaxed. No, he is avyartha kalatvam. Constantly Prabhupada used this word, avyartha kalatvam. Make sure that not even a single moment is wasted without being in the service of the Lord. That is how attentive and alert one should be. Because so far we are engaged in the service of the Lord, we are under the shelter of the Lord, and that is what is the real protection. All other time, if we try to relax a little bit, we are immediately under the clutches of Maya. So Prabhupada is bringing that point that we should be very, very alert. One should always think oneself dependent on Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. One should always think, without Krishna my life is useless and I am in danger. Therefore, while offering her prayers to Krishna, Kunti says, Krishna, you are thinking that now we are safe, but I don't think we are safe. We are always in danger. If you think we are safe, who will give us protection? We have no protection other than your lotus feet. We are encircled by so many enemies because the sons of those who have died in the fight are now preparing to fight with us. Right. So this is what is the consciousness of a devotee. He never thinks, no matter what is the situation. Kunti Maharani, the sons has become the king now. They're all powerful. Arjuna, Bhima, but she is not confident about all those things. She is saying, without you, there is no protection. So we should always seek the protection of the Lord. The highest achievement of perfect civilization is to work with valor, but at the same time depend completely on the Lord. That is the highest achievement. So we see all these great examples of great devotees. They are not some useless people, incapable people, that they can't do anything. So what is the hope? The only hope is just to take the shelter. No, they are very, very capable people. The Pandavas, powerful, the great kings, great powerful warriors. But at the same time, depend completely on the Lord. Pandavas were all highly qualified both by personal character and by physical activities. Still, they always looked for the mercy of the Lord. That is the position of the devotee. In fact, we see in our movement also, there's many, many devotees, mentally speaking, they are well qualified, they are greatly capable of doing so many things in this material world. And still, they give up sometimes, some devotees, most of the devotees, full-time devotees, they give up all of that and they completely surrender to the Lord. And those others, those who are practicing in the Grihastha life, still they might be, mentally speaking, sitting in a big position, but they don't feel confident about all those things. They're still dependent on the Lord. So that is what is the highest achievement. So Pandavas were not some parasites, as Prabhupada writes here. Devotees are not irresponsible or parasites, that they can't do anything, so what they will do, they are to dependent on Lord only. They can't protect themselves. They don't know how to protect. So they need Krishna to protect. Devotees, mentally speaking, they are capable of doing so many things, but still their dependency is on the Lord only. So that's the point here. Those who try to become falsely independent of the Lord are called anath. So we don't want to become anath. We want to become sanath. Means one who is the guardian, one who is the protector. So without Lord's protection, without Lord's shelter, no matter who we are, whatever position we are in, we are considered anath. So Prahlad Maharaj also very aptly quotes this verse, Balasya neha sharanam pitarau narsimha. Like there, 3 examples have been used here. Balasya neha sharanam pitarau narsimha. Narthasya chagadam udanvanti majjatahanau. So Balasya, who is under the shelter of Pitarau, his father, there's no guarantee that he is safe. Anytime anything can happen to the child. The child can die also. Right? And na arthasya chagadam, somebody is arthasya, somebody is diseased, going through some problem. Then chagadam, the medicine. He can take the medication. He can be treated by the best of the doctor. But there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee that he will be protected. Na arthasya chagadam. And udanvati. Udanvati means the water of this ocean. Majjatau. If somebody is drowning into the water of ocean, then the boat cannot protect. When the big waves comes, then even the boat can protect. So unless Lord protects, Narsimha protects, nobody can protect. No matter that I'm the son of a rich father and very powerful father, and I'm very intelligent, I'm very capable. No, there's no guarantee that we are protected. We are constantly in danger in this material world. Padam padam yata vipadam natesham. Right. Prabhupada is concluding this verse, this purport by saying, it is not only the Pandavas who were put into the condition of anonymity, but all of us are always in such a condition. And the best way of living is to become completely dependent on the will of the Lord and thereby overcome all difficulties of material existence. So we might think, oh no, Pandavas, their situation was, very precarious. We are all good. No, we are all in the same situation. In this material world, everybody is in constant danger. So the way of living is that we become completely dependent on the Lord, on the will of the Lord. Devotees should practice to become dependent and completely surrender. And we should, every day we should pray to the Lord that, Lord, please protect me. We might think, now I'm chanting nicely and I'm reading Bhagavatam daily, everything is good. No, devotee, mentally speaking, we are actually protected. But still we need the protection for our spiritual life. We should pray to the Lord every day. The Lord, please protect me. Because there is a Maya even in our spiritual life also. So little inattentive, immediately Maya will capture. So devotee should be very, very prayerful like Kunti Maharani, that this no other shelter, Yashamna Chanyad Bhavata Padamujam. Lord, there is no other shelter for us other than the shelter of your lotus feet. Parayanam. We are completely dependent on your mercy. Lord, whatever we are able to do, little bit seva in the temple, chanting, reading, talking, preaching, collecting, anything we are able to do. We should not feel, oh, now I am capable of doing all those things. And the next moment, Maya can show you some, her power and will be swept away completely. And there are many, many examples in the scriptures in the moment. So devotee should always maintain that mood of complete dependent and complete surrender. And we should feel that unless Lord protects, nobody can protect us. And that is our acharyas, the great acharyas, the pure devotees. They pray. When we read all the Vaishnava songs, at the end of all the songs, they will be praying like that only. All Bhaktivinoda Tagore, Narottam Das Tagore, all the acharyas, right? They say that. Bhaktivinoda Tagore says in one of the songs, Patit Kinkara Dhori, Pad Padma Dhulikori, Deho Bhakti Vinoda Ashraya, Amitava Nityadash Bhuliya Mayara Pash, Baddha Hoy Achidoya Moy. So like that they pray. Patit Kinkara Dhori, I am so patit. He's not thinking I am a great devotee now. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Materially also, I am the magistrate. And I have written like 100 books. That is the reality. But still they maintain that mood of complete dependence and surrender in the Lord. So he's saying, Patita Kinkara Dhori, I am your fallen servant. Pada Padma Dhuli Kori. Please place me in the dust of your lotus feet. Pada Padma Dhuli. In the dust of your lotus feet. Please place me. Give me the shelter at the dust of your lotus feet. Deho Bhakti Vinoda Ashraya. Amitava Nitya Das. I am your eternal servant. Bhuliya Maya Rabash. When I forgot you and then I got, bound in this Maya's clutches. So like that, they pray that Karuna na hoile kandiya kandiya, prana na rakhibo ara, Gurudev, kripa bindu diya, karo idashe, trinapeka atihina. That should be the prayer of a devotee. Every day we should pray to Prabhupada, to Krishna, then Gurudev, kripa bindu diya. Just give me a drop of your mercy. Without your mercy, without your kripa, karuna na hoile, kandiya kandiya. If your kripa is not there, then my life is nothing but I'll just cry and cry. And there's no point of maintaining my life. Prana na rakhibo ara. Gurudev, kripa bindu diya. Karo idashe, trinapeka adihina. Please shower your mercy, the drop of your mercy. That is the prayer. And that is how, when we take the shelter of the Guru, Krishna, and the holy name, and the Nama Prabhu, then only we should feel little confident that I am now under the protection. Right, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, that joy sakalo bipad bhakti vinod, bole jako o nam gaye. Anybody who chants the holy name of the Lord very sincerely and attentively, then sakalo bipad, then all the vipada will be taken care. All dangers will be gone when that name is chanted. Says Bhaktivinoda Thakur, chant Radha Krishna, everyone chant. Joy Sakala Bipad Bhakti Vinod, Bole Jako O Nam Gaye. So we should take the shelter of the holy name, Guru and Krishna, and that is what is our real protection, real shelter, real dependence. Start becoming dependent on all the false friendship, even in the in the spiritual life also, in the ashram life also. Sometimes we start becoming dependent on some false things. Oh, this devotee is my good friend. Yes, definitely there is an instruction that we should have nice relationship with devotees and all that. But our dependency is always on Guru, Krishna and Nama Prabhu. We are not dependent on, oh, this devotee, he is, like some senior person in a powerful position and I am with a good connect, good relation with this person. So now I feel safe because I can directly talk to president. I have some good connection. Our dependency is not on all those things. Our dependency is on the Vaishnava association, the Guru and Krishna. That is what is our true dependency. Not some power, not some position, not some connection. Only connection with Krishna and Namamru. That is what is. The Kunti Maharani is praying here. The Lord, without your mercy, we are not protected. So why you are leaving us, please do not leave us. So the Kunti Maharani is expressing that mood of Danya, saying that we are without your mercy, we are in danger. So these are some thoughts on this verse. Let me pause here and see if anybody has any quick question or any comment, or anybody wants to add something to the discussion. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Despite hearing so much that we have to be dependent, completely surrender to the Lord, to Guru, still we sometimes exhibit the nature of independent nature. That is what Prabhupada is writing, that is the material disease. Trying to be independent. So yes, we are diseased. We all agree to that. This is our disease, our false ego. Don't know why I should listen to someone, why I should follow someone. I know how to do. I know better than this person. So this is that independent attitude. Right? That is a material disease which is holding us back, which is stopping us to progress in a spiritual life. So when we keep hearing all this again and again, this idea, these concepts reinforce, and then we very consciously, proactively try to, practice being dependent on the Vaishnavas. Okay, my mind says, hey, you not to listen this person. This person doesn't even know these basics. Why are you to listen this person? You know better than him. I know better than him. So I'll figure out my ways. So our mind will say, because that is our conditioned mind. At that time, we rightly utilize our free will, our intelligence, our spiritual intelligence, and then we say, okay, I know that I know better than him, but my duty is to follow him first. Let me just try to be dependent, try to be submissive to, because if somebody is in my authority, somebody is, put into, for whatever reason, it cannot be without Krishna's sanction. So I am just trying to put some material calculation or something like that. This person is not materially qualified. He doesn't even know how to speak. He doesn't even know how to execute certain things. And we can see all that, and that might be the reality also sometimes. But as we learn in Krishna consciousness, the idea of Krishna consciousness is not, we are not here to become perfect. We are not here to become perfect executors, but we are here to become the perfect followers. So the whole idea is to give us the opportunity that how to follow. That is why when the all bhakta training happens and all that, no matter all the devotees, some devotees they join from, they might be from topper from IITs and something like that. When they join the bhaktas, as a bhaktas, they're asked to, okay, clean the toilet, okay, become the assistant to some devotee. Some preacher is going out, he has to carry his bag. Now, in some cases, the main preacher, he might be even not, materially speaking, much educated person, simple person, less educated. And the other bhakta, he is like IITian or someone who was doing a great job, big job, some very big position, something. And then he has to follow. So his conditioned mind, what will say? This person is, not even properly educated. He can't even speak properly. And now I have to carry his bag. What is this? I'm not here for that. But we should remind ourselves that we are here for that only. To learn to become the perfect follower, not the perfect executor. That is what is the perfection of our life. So yes, this being independent is the conditioned nature. That is the diseased condition, diseased mind. So we should be well aware of this disease, this infection, and we try to avoid that. That is what we should do. Okay, we'll stop here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nidai Gaur Premanande.